Hi Cancer, this is Heather, the Medium on a Mission, bringing you a February forecast. And for this month, I will be focusing, I'll do the body, mind together, love, and then spirit. And I'll just kind of go through, just like I always do, any energies that I'm getting. And so Cancer, as I tune into your energies here, what I do have a few spirits that are showing up to deliver this message, but the collective message from spirit that I received was, it was just happiness. Like immediately when I asked spirit to give me the energy and vibration of what's going on for you this month, I got just this feeling of just general happiness. But it's as a result of a reconnection that's occurring. So I feel like some of you are going to be having a reconnection in life. It could be involving relationships, friendships, family, or love, but it definitely feels like there's some sort of reconnection that's going to be occurring. And some of you, I see there might be some reuniting with your children. Maybe you haven't seen them for a while. I feel like there's that reconnection that's going to be occurring. And the spirits that the energies that I'm aware that are here with me to deliver this message, I do have some grandparents that are coming forward, and they're coming through arm in arm. And sometimes grandparents just like to come through and just give the love. And there's something, but there's an adoration for you as well. And it's this feeling of just wanting to acknowledge what you've accomplished. There's something that the grandmother's a little bit more stronger energy, but she's definitely wanting to let it be known that she's there with her significant other as well. So she's anyway, she's just a cute, sweet little old lady here with curly hair and glasses. And then I do have a male that's coming forward, and it's interesting because the way he's coming forward, he's acknowledging. I feel like there would be birthdays, and so I know Cancer, it's not your birthday necessarily unless you are watching this as a moon or as a rising sign, but there is acknowledgement of a birthday and the connection of that as well. And it's interesting because I'm getting a couple things. I feel like whoever this male is coming forward, he's wanting to acknowledge the birthdays of the recent of people in this life, and that I feel like there's several around each other. But then I also feel like I want to acknowledge an anniversary connected. So I feel like there might be a female that's watching this that your husband has crossed over, and he's coming through because it's like I'm seeing a heart box of chocolates that he's opening up. So it's this feeling of just wanting to like send you love from heaven, and so he's just acknowledging that as well. And I did have another individual that was here as well, but I'm going to keep going and see. It's interesting. I do have another male that's coming forward, but he's got his hands behind his back as to acknowledge. I feel like he would have been a shy individual. So actually, as I'm saying that, I'm getting an M name. So I don't know if it's a Michael or a Miko or something. There's an M name that's associated, but he's a little bit more shyer energy, but I do want to acknowledge him because he is making it known that he's here. So and that's okay. Your personality goes with you. So if you're someone who in this life wasn't very vocal and wouldn't speak out a lot, you're not going to do it on the other side. It's just, that's the way that they enter, I should say that way. So, all right, Cancer, let's see. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Cancer from a body-mind perspective for the month of February? Okay. And I'll just sort of pull the cards here, and then we'll go into the messages that I've got. And it's interesting, so I just I'll do them a little differently depending on what Spirit tells me to do, but for this one, I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah, my heart's getting really warm right now, and this just tells me that this is going to be something where somebody needs to feel this sort of peace and clarity, and my cards are falling to this message that's coming forward. So I'm gonna pull the love card too. And so Spirit, what messages do you have for Cancer from a love perspective? Okay. I'll put that down there, make sure they stay okay. All right, perfect. And so let me show you here what this card was. Honesty is essential. Okay, so let me go through, because I was getting a lot of information while I was pulling these. So again, these two cards here in terms of prayers and lessons, and then the Tree of Life. So the Tree of Life here, and there's something significant again regarding, it feels like there might be a reconnection with family, but there's definitely something regarding relationships and sort of the past. The Tree of Life card is the fertility, creative, destiny, and magical blessings. And this is card 1. Quite beautiful here. And then interesting here, so we've also got the honesty is essential. To be a loving person, it is important that we speak truthfully and in a loving manner. And look, y'all, this is card 38, which is 11. You've got 1 and 11 here. You've got basically there's the 111 coming through here. And what I'm getting with this, if you can see here, and there's a couple of things I'm getting, so I'm just going to it's kind of coming at me very quickly. So I'm going to try to communicate this as effectively. So first of all, I feel like whatever this is that's been going on in your life, Cancer, I feel like it's something that you've been praying about. I feel like it's something, now prayers don't necessarily have to be on one knee and, or 2 knees or, fingers crossed. It's whatever prayer, a thought, you speak, an affirmation is a prayer. And so it feels like whatever this is something that's been on your mind a lot. I feel like, and I want to go back the last 6 months, there's something around this. And I'm getting spirit coming in a lot for your reading right now. I have chills like all over my body. And I feel like this is something that they're telling me the last 6 to 9 months. And it feels like it's something that you may have carried with you, and this feeling of like wanting to, there's like a reconciliation energy, this feeling of like having to go through some hardships in order to get to the top. And this lessons that's coming in, there's a lot of lessons for whatever this experience that you've had over the last 6 to 9 months. But I feel like it's part of the process and you've evolved as a result of that. If you look, you have sort of like all of these symbols here in the tree. There's the balance, you've got the star, you've got the infinity, you've got a cross, and you've got the heart. This is all about taking everything from the last 6 to 9 months as part of this, and you've sort of emerged that. I mean, it's quite amazing here how these two kind of come into this, and I'm getting chills so much for you guys right now. So it just feels like this, some of you, this is going to be different. I do feel like there's romantic love involved as well. There might be, but there's some family members. It feels like a lot of family stuff as well. But there is this feeling of reconnection here. And if you look, I mean, this woman here, she's sort of looking back, and this is quite amazing here, because this feeling of reconnecting, and you've got this masked man, this man that's sort of wearing this mask here, and it's this feeling of looking back at him. He's offering her a rose, and it's this reconnection of going back into that energy and the feeling of like, I'm doing this again, but I'm doing it on my terms. I've learned a lot of lessons. I've healed from the past, and I'm ready to move forward. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be with the same individual. So sometimes there can be situations where you've been broken or felt broken. Nobody's broken, but it's this feeling of felt broken in a relationship, and you're not really willing to go down that path again. But I feel like whatever this is, you're opening up your eyes to love again. And so this can be with the same individual. It can be with a different individual, but this is something about opening up your heart again to this, because you've learned these lessons. You've had that, you've sort of prayed on it. You've sat with it. And now look at this. It's right in the middle of the tree of life is this love. And then here you're being offered the rose. So it's quite significant in terms of that. The other thing I feel like I need to say to you too is that, sometimes when we're in the relationship, it's not what we need at that very moment, but sometimes growth occurs, and so I know me and my husband will be celebrating, I think, 20 years or something, more 23 years together in February. And for us, it was about, we've restarted so many times. I mean, you can't be together with someone for that long without having a lot of redos. So I think that's important to note as well. But it's making sure that everyone's on the same page and they're willing to start over with the same person versus willing to start over with someone else. At the end of the day, the lessons are the lessons, right? This is why this is so important. This card it's part of my deck that I created, because Spirit always shows me, you can't see the faces, right? It's all about these people all represent lessons in your life. They come in that form, but there's blurry faces. So you're always, if it's not this person, it'll be the next person. The lessons will be the same until you learn them and move on. So you might as well kind of, if you have a willing partner to help you sort of come into this life and learn these lessons and there to support you, then it's good to keep doing that and advance with that soul. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, everyone that you're with is the right partner. If you'll know when it's the right partner. But I also say that if there's something about this reconnection energy, so I want to soften your heart. I feel like I want to soften your heart around this situation. So let's go ahead and see lastly what the message is from Spirit. Just a general card here in terms of Spirit energy. So Spirit, what messages do you have for Cancer for the month of February? What Spirit messages would you like to provide? I'm getting something about, interesting here, like a vortex or some weird... Okay, it's almost like what I was, like a vortex energy here. Wow. Okay. Expansion. And oh my gosh, you guys. So card 44, this is card 8, which you've got the infinity symbol here. You've got an 8 up here. But the other thing I'm seeing with this is, to me, this is this feeling of reconnecting on a deeper level. And it's all part of the process. And once you understand this, look, if you can see this here, she's got all the chakras are kind of being lit up, and there's an expansion that's occurring. And I'm just really being drawn to this here where you have the tree and that expansion of that energy. And I just feel like for you guys, this is all part of this, right? This is all part of the process. This is what you were intended to go through, these lessons, in order to meet your expansion with that. And so it just feels like there's a lot of and I'm as I'm saying this, I'm just getting really lightheaded because I just feel Spirit's energy really kind of coming in on for you guys on this one. It's just really intense. And so it's quite beautiful in terms of the messages that they want to provide you. And I'm just going to look here at the card 44 and just see what else Spirit has to say here in terms of this energy. Okay, so this is the travel at your own speed of light. And this is saying, are you keeping up with your life and all you want to create? Or are you holding yourself back with what ifs or buts? Your limit through your limit. I'm wanting to read it my way, but the words say something different. You limit your life through your beliefs. Everything you say and everything you do becomes true for you and is the platform for which you build your life. And so I just feel like for you guys on this one, this is all about, again, this goes back to your awareness around the situations and seeing them for the lessons that they come through in this life. But I also feel like this feeling of a little bit of a beating a drum on certain things. And okay, and Spirit's telling me to pull one more of the Spirit cards as well, because it's definitely this feeling of expansion around there. But there's something else as it relates to creating, like, I'm getting that, I keep being drawn to this with the sacral, the orange energies that is really coming out for me here. So, enlightenment. Okay, yeah. And this is card 43, which is 7. And wow, this is card 44 here. So you guys, there's a deeper message here for you guys in terms of what you're bringing into your space. And I just feel like all of the things, I want to say, the past 6 to 9 months, it feels like strong for you. I'm also hearing 15. It feels like a lot of this stuff has happened for your own growth and development. And so it's all to sort of, on a spiritual level, we don't always see it on the human level. We get sort of lost in this space. But Spirit's saying, you know what, this is all part of your expansion and your enlightenment. So, yeah, gosh, you guys, the enlightenment. Wow, those two, I mean, they're shuffled. So they just, I mean, they're 43, 44, and how they all sort of come together, and it's sort of the sequence of the process. So let me just see if there's anything. Yeah, so this, I'm just going to tell you what that, yeah, so this card here, enlightenment, it says evolution is guaranteed. So you've done it, Cancer. It's this feeling of you've evolved. You've learned these lessons through these prayers that you know, and Spirit's been around you through this whole process, and you're moving now up to a new level. You're ascending, you're moving forward. So sounds like it's going to be a beautiful month for you, but just in general, the expansion, the awareness of the things that you're going through, it's quite beautiful. So Cancer, I do wish you an amazing February, and namaste.